Hey Deckers, Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection is now available on Steam, and a huge thanks to Sandbox Strategies for giving us a key so we could test this out ahead of its release. I know it wasn't much ahead of release, but it got us prepared in time. So, as you can see, running even in the space battles with full graphic settings, which I'll show in a minute, we are getting over 120 frames per second for the most part. I was connected to 120 Hz display for the pass-through recording, which is why you're seeing up to 120. Obviously, the OLED Steam Deck caps out at 90, so you're going to have a fantastic time on the OLED, and 60 on the LCD. And also you can see that we're running around 10 watts on space battles, and if we go into a hefty fauna area, then we're looking at about 14 watts. So you got no issues at all. Now on some of the heavier graphic planets, it does dip down into the 80s and even the 70s occasionally, especially when battles really start getting intense, but it's not going to be a major issue playing at full resolution and the highest graphic settings. Battlefield 2 is what you're seeing here, and I will show you some multiplayer as well. This was fully functional. For some reason in Battlefront 2, the settings you have to switch the third person and first person in the game options, which you can do during game, whereas in Battlefront 1 you can do that on a control toggle. It is also worth noting that this was on the highest quality, and if you go into the custom options, there's not a huge amount that you can do in there, but it was maxed out. Now control types, just to make you aware, you have to go into each type of control and switch to control mode, and it's really good to see the Steam Deck control layout in here. It does show you each of the buttons. It is a little bit small on the screen, but it's still great to see Steam Deck actually there as a controller, and you will want to up your sensitivity probably to 7 or 8 at least to make it bearable in each of those matches. Now you will have to do that for each of the 5 different control types. Obviously I had early access to this, so there wasn't many people online, but there was a couple of people diving into a Hoth match on multiplayer. Obviously you're against main AI for the most part, unless you get tons of players in there, but it is fully functional online as well on the Steam Deck. So I'm sure we're going to see tons of people on this on the release day, so it will be great to have those nostalgic multiplayer battles once again. Again, with the graphics, especially in this one, it's not massively intensive, so we're getting full speed on the FPS. Now Battlefront on its own has even less settings, but if you do still want that nostalgia trip, then you are not going to have any issues running this at max graphics and max frames per second, but it does look quite dated, although it is still great fun if you want to play through the campaign again for nostalgia's sake. Let us know in the comments below if you're going to be diving into these ones, or whether you're just going to be diving back into the classic versions online so you can have a bit of a laugh. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.